The Zach Ratliff Show is brought to you by Mortgage Financial and Texarkana, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org.
Okay, go.
Hello.
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 Hello. Welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. That's
I'm
Steve.
I'm Nori.
That's Nori.
That's Nori. She's
All
a
right.
premium listener today.
She is a premium listener today.
Have you ever heard the show before, Nori?
No.
It's probably pretty good.
She listens. She
Oh, wait,
actually she helps me with my YouTube, and
Really?
she's the reason that I have tens of thousands of
Wow.
views is
So she's
because
the marketing department.
yeah, like she's like, hey, if you do this, and then even last night I hadn't checked. She's like, you can link this and do this, and so like last night is after we said our prayers and stuff, we were sitting there talking about. She's like, here's how you can build your
Videos?
channel and
Oh, wow.
all these things.
Stick your head around so people can see you, Nori.
There you go.
Did she go far enough? I couldn't see.
Yes, yeah, you can see her eyes. She looked very
Intense.
very murderish.
Yeah, cool.
All right, Steve, what's going on this morning? How are you?
I'm good. It's your show, man.
Yeah,
You tell me.
I'm good. Hey, did you see I read this on Christian Post yesterday. The U.S. Appeals Court is going to hear the challenges against mandating the Ten Commandment displays.
Interesting.
Yeah,
The U.S. Supreme Court.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because it's Louisiana and Texas have both been challenged. So it says a federal, not Supreme Court, a federal appellate court will hear challenges against laws in Texas and yeah. So the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Oh, that's a good one. That's in
I
Texas,
think
right?
that's what we want.
Yeah.
I think that's. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm interested. Let's go ahead and put
Well,
this to bed.
Right. So the separation of church and state people are going to say, no, you can't have that stuff in school. But the separation of church and state people should be saying the Supreme Court has no business talking about it. So
if you're separating it,
pick a side. Yeah.
well, here's my problem. Well, I've got a lot of problems, Steve.
Well, but you can focus on one at a time.
Yeah, let's do that. My answer to all of them is Jesus, but I don't think education has to be part of the state.
Well, education was originally, I mean, you've seen all those original plats and things. I forget, every square mile had a section in the middle of it for school.
Yep.
This is back when you had to walk everywhere, because they saw schools as vitally important to have an educated citizenry.
Right.
I don't say citizenry very often at all.
Yeah, I like it though.
And it is. Nori, can you say citizenry?
Dennis? Oh, no.
That's good enough. I had to practice.
Citizenry.
Dennis. Oh, no.
Okay.
There's
Good
like
effort.
6 different consonants in there. Anyway,
She's Russian.
is she? That's cool. Slow down a little bit, and you can do it.
No, you're not. You're Native American.
You are. You were born here. It's obvious.
Okay.
And her
So
birth
it was.
certificate says she's Native American.
Do
She
I?
is.
Sorry.
And her birth certificate says she's Native American because she
Is
is.
it really?
Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely.
Real. Cool.
Oh.
Anyway, go ahead.
When I get home, I'm gonna put that on mine.
Yeah, exactly.
So originally, I mean, our founding fathers said that people have to be educated, they have to be engaged in what's going on around them, or things will fall apart.
Right.
And so we've taken that from educated and learn as much as possible. I mean, people today seniors today couldn't pass a 10th grade exam 100 years ago. We've seen stuff like that
Yeah.
online. It's really, and nobody has a really solid explanation as to why we went from learning seriously important things to learning stupid things. I mean, we know why they did it, but no one ever explains it. The people who are behind it, they hope they'll just go away and leave them alone.
Right. And, you
yeah.
don't know enough to know what you don't know.
Right. That's the thing. You have to. Once you start learning, you learn you really don't know anything.
Well,
We've really taken away from the argument, chased a rabbit away from what you asked.
no, it's okay. But on that same vein of thought, I know a person who's an educator who I made an off-colored joke, but anybody that knows me knows I sometimes I have a darkish sense of humor, and something was said, and I made the quip, oh yeah, that's crazy, like the thought that anybody would ever kill 6 million Jews, and they're like, why would you say that? That's crazy. And I'm
Like,
like,
they didn't know about it?
what do you mean? I said, what are you talking about? The quip or the fact that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust? They're like, no, they weren't. Quit saying that. And I go, don't you have a master's degree in education? And they go, yes. I've never heard that. And I said,
Oh,
you don't know what the Holocaust is? And this person, and look, this person's an intelligent person. It has nothing to do with this person's intelligence.
it has to do with their
It
education.
has to do with their education. And I'm like, and so
What
then,
else do you not know?
right. And so then I'm concerned. I'm like, they're like, no, I've never learned this. And I'm like, that's wild. Now, maybe, look, we've all been to college and had classes and been like, just kind of put stuff out of your mind.
Yeah,
But I mean,
forget it.
seriously, they didn't know.
Systematic extermination of 6 million Jews is something that's just sticking in your head. So
Well,
they probably were never told.
because this person is an intelligent person
Yeah.
and have no reason other than that to believe that they just weren't taught. But I was floored. I'm like, so anyway, I don't think education should be part of the state. Back to the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should. I think education should be a local thing.
Well, getting rid of the NEA, the National Education Association, which will help with that. If the, if every, I know it'd be kind of a burden to have every county in charge of their own education platform or how it's done,
Right.
the entire process. But it would benefit a lot of people. And actually, if you got rid of the Texas Education Association and you had 2 or 3 or 4 competing companies or putting curriculums out, and you could say, well, I'm not going with that one because there's blatant lies. I'm not going with that one because there's absurd omissions. I'm going to
Right.
go with one of these two over here,
Right.
and let free market pick which one of those the county goes with. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason you can't do that, or an ISD for that matter,
Yeah.
and pick it. So I'm not going to send my kids and this is just an example. I'm not going to send my kids to LE because they don't teach this. Or I'm
Yeah.
not going to send my kids to Arkansas High because they teach this, which is a lot of other people think it's untrue. You know,
Right.
so let free market determine who has the best curriculums.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and here's yeah, and that's exactly where I am too. Let's let the free market decide. Teach your kid what you want them taught, and I think it works out. And you could have some standards. Hey, you have to know math, have to know how to write and read. Hey,
Right?
I mean, I mean, you can, but you don't have to have a bureaucracy built around
No, and you don't. Well, we talked about this last time I was on. I think
it. Yeah,
that the percentage of school district employees who aren't directly interfaced with the students is pretty high.
yeah. Let me tell you, talk about students. So I'm driving down the road yesterday, and what's the truck called from our church? That's the boombox.
Yeah, the bomb truck, those big box.
Yeah, it has a big bomb on top of it. Um, anyway, it goes driving by, and it was before pretty well before it was time to go to the Patriots meeting.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh, they must be going to do sidewalk Sunday school.
Yeah,
And so I followed them to an area of town that I'd only been once when doing financial education for a bank to low to moderate income schools, right? So it's a
hmm,
very low income area. And, and I'm like, I want to see what this is about, Steve. You've probably been to these,
2 or 3.
but it was amazing. All these little kids come out, they roll out this stage on this thing, they turn on the music. There's kids jamming and worshiping Jesus and singing songs and get a Bible study lesson. And there's look, just from the area, I watched, I watched most of these kids get off the bus. There were a lot more people living in this area than there were cars.
Yeah,
There's a chance that this is the only message about Jesus that
yeah,
these kids get. And you could tell they come every week to listen.
yeah,
And,
because they know the people that they know the staff's name. The staff knows a lot of their names.
yeah,
Yeah,
like and it was awesome. Because I'm like, I want to see this. I want to
yeah,
see. I want, and I'm kind of propped up on a tree, just out of the way. I'm not there to help. I'm not there to hurt. I'm just there to watch, and my eyes tear up. Because it was very wholesome
yeah,
that these kids that you know did their skin color didn't match the color of the people that were that were teaching, but it didn't matter. No, the economic circumstances were the same. But in that moment, in that spirit space of time, everybody's just worshiping Jesus,
Yeah.
and it was so good. I don't know how I got there, but it was a cool thing
It
to see.
is. There's a photo in the church, that wall that shows all the missions things
Uh-huh.
of the boombox truck, and a guy who is now a cop. I can't remember if it's Nash or Wake Village, but well, it might be Texarkana, for that matter. But he's now a cop, and I think he was leading worship on the stage for that. Yeah. So we've had some really good people involved with that over the years,
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, let's move on.
and
The,
that's at Church on the Rock.
yeah, Church on the Rock.
We'll love the hell out of you.
There you
.org.
go. Yeah, .org. Yeah,
To the Rock.org.
yeah. Forgot your mic's on over there. Yeah, you're good.
But you didn't talk about your sponsors.
Oh, we've got them. Well, they're going to play before
Oh,
the
you
show.
got the little bumper music.
Yeah, yeah.
Play, I'm on it.
You were on it the other day.
Oh,
Okay, so this is from abcnews.go.com. Judge orders Trump administration to fully fund SNAP benefits by Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah,
Today?
today.
Cool. I don't think we saw the riots that a lot of people were expecting.
I don't think we
Did
did
we?
either.
Yeah.
Well, it's partially funded. Where do they think
Yeah.
this money's
Well,
coming
see,
from?
I thought some of it went out last Friday and then some went out earlier this week.
Yeah,
I think it was like in 2 sections.
here's the deal. If the Democrats would just pass the clean resolution, it would already be funded.
Sure.
Um,
And it's becoming more and more obvious as the Democrats doing it. And they've been on record saying we'd love to feed people, but this is the only leverage we have against Trump
and the,
to pay for benefits for illegals.
I reported earlier this week there are now 10 or 12 of them saying, okay, we're past the election. Now we can start talking about opening up the government.
Yeah.
We had to, we're going to make sure we get our people aggravated enough to go vote.
Yeah. Pelosi is on record as saying we would love to send out another stimulus check, but we can't have Trump take credit for it. And so she delayed people. There's a lot of people out there that were having a rough time during COVID,
Yeah.
and they could have done something about it, but they waited till after the election, so Trump couldn't benefit.
She was probably only on her first bottle of Jack Daniels for the day.
Yeah, it's like 9 a.m. So
Yeah, hey, talking about that. I'm driving down the road yesterday, and it was like a little after 12. I'm talking to somebody on the phone. I go, "What time is it?" And they're like, they tell me. I'm like, "Oh, okay." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Got drunk out in his yard by this house I just drove by. Obviously drunk. Had a beer in his hand, having a ball though." And it's straight up, almost straight up noon on a Thursday. I said, "But it's past 12, so we're going to give him credit. He waited till noon." Then I'm like,
yeah, he might not have run his clock right either, so he might wait. No, that wouldn't help him.
"Yeah,
Who
well, yeah, it
knows?
would have been one."
True, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, then here's this from the Supreme Court, NBCnews.com. The Supreme Court allows Trump to enforce passport restrictions. Uh, you're now allowed to just only be a man or a woman on your passport.
That's weird. That's like 10 steps back. What if somebody wants to be a panda?
A panda? I don't know. I wasn't expecting a panda, but maybe.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people out there with dark circles in their eyes, and they might feel better about themselves if they were pandas instead of just really tired.
Valid. I don't know what else to say to that. It's valid. Then the DOJ, this is from MSNBC.com.
That's just an example of the compassion you'll find on the show.
Yeah, that's what we are. Compassionate conservatives.
We are very compassionate.
Compassionate conservatives.
Right, Nori? Yes.
Yes.
See, and that's why the voting age has to be at least 18.
Oh,
You hear the Democrats talk about wanting to lower the voting age. That's a bad idea.
That's why they want to do it.
That's a great example of one.
well, they're supposed to say no.
See, you don't even know. You're on a political show. You don't even know the topics.
Yes and no.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, and that works for that subject. DOJ is preparing subpoenas in the investigation into John Brennan, says MSNBC. Are we going to start to see some John Brennan level heads roll?
Well, I mean, Comey's already been indicted.
Yeah.
How old were you when you realized that word wasn't indicted since it was indicted?
Pretty early on.
No, now Nori knows, but
She's 10. Now she knows.
10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Indicted.
So, but the real question is, are we going to see arrest?
I think that's the question. But you keep hearing it's a common refrain right now of saying, "Oh, you don't want the Democrats to do this when they get in power." They already did.
Yeah. That's like saying, "No, don't do that. You'll offend the left." Well, the left is already offended. Just
The
do the
left is
right
offended
thing.
every day you wake up alive.
Yeah.
You wake up dead, that's a
There's a
whole
meme
different
about
thing.
that. So what are y'all offended about today? And they're like, I don't know, but somebody will tell them soon.
Yeah, somebody will let them know. All right, let's see. Well, I think that's what I've got. All right, let's talk about the guest last night at Bowie County Patriot.
BowieCountyPatriots.org.
Yeah,
You can go there and find out the upcoming guests that we have. I should probably have pulled that up on my screen so I could tell you.
yeah.
But we have guests, several. So last night we had John Messinger. He is running for the Court of Criminal Appeals in Texas. Texas has what is called a bifurcated justice system.
What does that mean?
I love saying that. Well, it splits. Most states, the Supreme Court decides everything. In
Yeah,
Texas, we have the Supreme Court for civil matters and some administrative procedural things amongst different parts of the government. And we have the Court of Criminal Appeals, which is for criminal matters. So last night, there's nine people on each court. They have 6-year terms, and so every 2 years, three of them, or there's three elections, three places having elections.
right.
Whether it's to replace somebody, run against somebody, or they've retired and they're going to run, an open
Right.
seat. And so last night we had John Messinger, who is running for Court of Criminal Appeals, place 9,
Mhm.
and I guess there's 1 through 8 also.
Yeah.
But so he's run for place 9, and he seems insanely qualified
He
bec-
he.
be- because he's a prosecutor and he works for the state prosecutor, which is not the attorney general.
Right.
It's the state prosecutor. If they think justice has not been served from the perspective of the state, they come in, and it's after an appeal has been won, perhaps for the defense. They come in and say, "Hold on, y'all forgot this," and so he is like really, really, really educated on appellate appeals law. That's what he does.
Well, and we even had in the House last night candidate for Bowie County District Attorney Kelly Crisp,
Right.
and she talked about how there were cases that they had helped and assisted with that went on appeal.
Yeah.
That way, to make sure that the state's justice
Yeah.
or the county's justice was
So
there.
she's known this guy. I think she said 10 years.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Normally I would have had Adam introduce him because Adam is the guy who brought him in. So Adam brought in somebody, Tom Smith, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Tom had John call Adam. But since Kelly was there and knew him, I had Kelly come introduce him. So that was kind of cool. That I mean, she came because he was there.
Yeah, well, that's what I
I mean,
figured.
we didn't have her speak or anything. I mean, she gets pulled into discussions. Most of the time, she's there if if it's relevant to what she does.
Turns out she's involved in the county.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so it was really good. The
When we
guy,
say Adam,
Adam
he's
Huggins,
AKA
premium
premium
listener.
listener.
Yeah. He's probably not listening right now though,
No,
because he's not here.
no, he's not. But he will listen later today.
Probably will.
He will.
He'll make it convincing. So we had John Messinger last night, and he's running for this position. He has written a boatload of arguments, appeals. Forget what he called them. That
His vernacular outmatched my vernacular. So I was just looking. I'm like, this guy's intelligent. Not that I always assume I'm the smartest person in the room, but he was
he
notably.
was, yeah.
He probably, he probably was the smartest guy in there.
He was very intelligent.
Yeah.
And had a good sense of humor as well.
Yeah, he did.
Like several of the people that go to the Patriots. And there was a couple of times I just didn't follow, and I thought maybe I zoned out. And I was talking to Kelly Crisp afterwards, and she said, he lost me a couple of times. I go, so it wasn't just me. I didn't zone out. And she goes, no, I had trouble following him. And Kelly is, if you've ever met
highly
Kelly
intelligent.
and talked to her any period of time, yeah, she's very smart.
She does a great job for our county too.
She does, yeah.
But
he was. It's not like he was talking over our heads. I mean, you can
he
do
wasn't
that with
intentionally doing
abbreviations.
it.
Yeah, he didn't do it intentionally. It's something that he is insanely smart about.
And he was so dialed into what he does.
Yeah, educated and experienced.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like he's the kind of guy that you really want. So a lot of people that run for those things don't have any judicial experience,
Right.
and now they're about to be a justice on one of the two highest courts in the state. So, I mean, we've got people that got voted in 2 years ago. At least one of them, I don't think had ever worked as a judge,
Right.
but is doing a great job. They picked somebody of character and intelligence, and she's doing a great job. Um, this guy's got the character and the intelligence and the experience.
And shared value.
Yes.
He's a Christian.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and whether look, whether we want to admit it or not, shared Christian values, we're about to need those in our courts for what's coming uh in the from
Yeah.
immigration into the
Sure.
state. I mean, and I'm not talking about the Mexican immigration. I'm talking about the African Middle East immigration
Yeah. This
and the religion
Islamic,
they're bringing.
especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Islamic religion that's coming. We need
Sharia law.
yeah, we need Christians in place that are strong and he was. I mean, he talked about it multiple times
He did.
and
Um,
unprompted.
yes. He really did a good job of that as well, of talking about multiple things we wanted to hear
Yeah.
without getting a question.
Yeah, he was a
So it was like rambling with a purpose. I mean, it wasn't rambling at all.
no,
He
yeah.
just
I mean,
did a really good job of it. I think that's. I'm trying to think of anybody that we've had in recent memory that just a very obvious, very high level of intelligence.
yeah.
And we have a lot of smart people that come, and it's not detracting from any of them. It's
Well,
just that he was
and I think that's
like
why
we
we
might
can
have had a
say
bunch
that.
of 150 IQs and he's 200. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that's why we can say that there's a lot of there's a lot of how do I say it? There are a lot of intelligent people in there, and
Hmm.
you can tell from the conversations that are had when we're eating dinner before, or that are had during.
Yeah,
You know if you're around an idiot or not an idiot, right?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's easy to tell most of the time. Um, And for the most part, I mean, we got some exceptions, but for the most part, we're around a lot of not idiots in
Yeah,
there.
it's an intelligent group of people.
And so when someone comes that's thinking on a level above that, everybody notices because it's like, oh,
Yeah. I mean, I
okay,
really did think that I thought maybe I zoned out and just missed something because
no,
I didn't follow it.
but he knew. But once again, he wasn't talking down to us.
No, not at all. It's just
He was just that intelligent, but he also could hold you right. It didn't get
yes,
boring. It
yeah.
didn't get
We you know we I think on average we have really good guests.
yeah. Y'all
Bowie
do a
County
good job about
Patriots.org. We meet every Thursday night at 6 p.m. at Big Jake's Barbecue in Nash,
yeah.
Texas. Make sure you go to one in Nash because you won't have as much fun if you go to a different. We meet,
There might be people there.
I'm sure, but not people that you're hoping to see. So we've had some really good speakers over the years, and just recently we have.
Recently, we've had some hard hitters.
Yeah, Pete Chambers running for governor. That guy's really sharp,
Yeah.
um, and just plain spoken enough that
Well, but
man,
it's
I think
nice
he'd do
to,
great. But
what I
there's several that do that. Kelly Crisp, when she came and spoke, we had last week. We had John Tidwell. I mean, that's
and
District Court
Kelly was
Judge.
there to see him as well.
Yeah, so we had District Court Judge John Tidwell, County Court at Law Judge Craig Henry, and Sheriff Jeff Neal.
Yeah.
And
Ready to
a
text
lot of
it.
people thought that because the note that went out that said he might bring a guest, John Tidwell,
Yeah.
because he's the only one. I texted several people. I need help filling this evening. We had a cancellation. He goes, I'd be glad to. So he came, and he said I might be bringing somebody, and a lot of people thought he brought Kelly Crisp with him.
No.
He brought Craig Henry. I mean, I literally when he said I'll be there, I made 3 slides. I made one that said District Court Judge John Tidwell, one that said County Court at Law Judge Craig Henry, and one that said Sheriff Jeff Neal.
Right.
Because when John Tidwell comes, the other two always come.
Right.
And it's I don't know how long he's been coming to speak to us, but that's just what happens.
And he brings facts, and we talked about him last week with the
Yeah.
caseload and all that, and it's good. But the good thing about the Patriots is, once again, here's my thought process, especially with what we see going on in the world and the country is we can no longer be the silent majority.
Right.
We have to be the vocal majority.
Yeah, we have to be out.
Thanksgiving's coming up, and the week of Thanksgiving. Maybe if you want to come on the week of Thanksgiving, I like to do the list of things you're not supposed to talk about on Thanksgiving, and then actually here's what you can say if this comes up. Like it'll be a fun thing. So if you want to come in, we can do
Yeah.
that. But now Thanksgiving's the time that you're going to see your relatives and all that. Let them know, like, and not in a hateful way, but hey, this is what we're going against. You see the communists that just got elected in New York. You see and I say all this because that's what's good about the Patriots is common beliefs. We're Christians, we're conservatives,
Constitutionalists.
constitutionalists. Okay, we're around like-minded people. But we don't all think exactly the same. It's what is it? The iron sharpens iron or whatever.
Sure.
We're there playing off each other, and every now and then somebody's like, "Oh no, that ain't right," and then you have to reconsider your stance, and that's okay.
And part of what we do is about learning. We bring people in that talk about specific topics,
Yep.
specific aspects, points of view, whatever, so that we can learn. Like we've got next week coming in, we got Alice Linehan
Yeah, I'm
talking
excited about
about school choice. And school choice was something that almost every conservative parent in the state wanted.
that.
Zach had to take a break.
All right, we're back. I had to take a phone call because I have a job, and that's how we pay to do this.
If I had known that we could take breaks, I would have done that a few times.
Well,
We needed like a really subtle signal that doesn't show up on the camera. That's like, let's stop for let's have a potty break.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that.
So I was doing like this when we broke.
Yeah,
We were talking about Alice Linehan.
Yeah.
So okay, so,
educated people, Alice Linehan.
yeah.
good
So we had
points.
conservatives in Texas wanted school choice because there was so many homeschoolers. It's just a growing population. But then the state of Texas came out and said, and they were always against it. They always pushed back on it. All the powers that be pushed back on it. And then what was it? 2 years ago, they came out and said, "Hey, we're doing school choice now."
Right.
And that should be a big red flag. If we've been asking for it for a long time and they say they're giving it to us, they're not.
Right.
And it was a very convoluted thing. Supposedly giving money to parents, but never not taking any money from the schools. It's going to cost the state more.
Right.
And then if you have, with shekels come shackles.
Yeah, that's right.
A friend of mine, I've heard it from him the first time. So if first couple of years everything's fine, you're getting an extra $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a year from the state.
Yeah.
To homeschool your kid, and it makes it so that one parent can stay home and do that. And then year 4, they go, we do have to have some standard. And then before you know it, you're teaching the really important parts of Common Core.
Yeah.
And if you want to get away from it, you have to forego the money that the state's giving you. And who knows, by that time they might pass a law that says that if you forego the money, you got to put it back in.
And I'm excited to hear her because we had some other people that were pro school choice speak.
Yeah.
What was it? Probably a month and a half ago, maybe.
I don't remember who it was.
Uh,
But we have, yeah.
maybe longer than that.
Well, several years ago, we had her come in or pro school choice, maybe anti. I don't remember. We had 2 speakers 2 weeks in a row. One was for, one was against, and they both made really good points. The first one came in and goes, "That makes perfect sense. I agree." Second one comes in, just like the Bible says, in Proverbs, that the first guy sounds great until the other guy's cross examined.
Yeah,
So you hear from the other witness. And
that's
so
exactly right.
they're both sides made great points, and we so at the end of those 2 sessions, we knew nothing more than we had before.
Right. Well, and that's where critical thinking comes in. Back
It
to the
is.
education thing. And that's my problem with a lot of things is you're taught to be at school at 8 and you go till 3 and you're segmented and you get your lunch in this time and you have to go when you're told and you have to do these certain
If the
tasks
bell
and
rings, stand up.
yeah,
The
if the
bell
bell
rings,
rings
sits down.
and you do these things. That's not real life for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say, whoa. I've got this going on. I've got this going on. I might not get lunch till 3 today.
Yeah.
And I don't have to eat dinner, or I might have to take lunch at 11. And then I,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be able to juggle your life, but we're so programmed to the 8 to 5, work week with the
Yeah.
hour lunch.
And
A lot of people can't break out of that.
What was it? The Prussian school, the Prussian idea, which was to train workers.
Yeah.
That's what it was for, to train obedient workers. And it came out of, I guess, Germany 100+ years ago. That was the whole point behind modern education. A great deal of it was to
train workers.
We need more cogs.
Right,
And
because
we need 'em to
you don't
be-
need a bunch of free thinkers because we're the conspiracy theorists. We're the weird ones.
Yeah.
We're the ones that have a podcast and we come on and we talk to thousands of people and the people are like, "Oh, those guys are crazy," But and I digress from Alex Linehan, but that's crazy. And here's one thing I will say. We had this conversation last night because I had sent you an article talking about the guest at Booth County Patriots and how we have informed discussions on good topics. Well, I'd sent you an article and you're like, hey, because during the meeting we do, hey, you've got 2 minute, what is it, 2 minute
2 minute topic.
topics. And you're like, hey, do you want to talk about this? And our discussion was, I would like to, but I don't think I'm informed enough yet to be able to present.
Yeah.
The,
And see, if we were a leftist group, it wouldn't matter that you didn't know what you were talking about.
but
You could
but
just talk about your feelings.
and I'm not. Yeah, that's right. I feel like and it's not just me; it's everybody in there. If somebody's going to say something, it's a thoughtful, for the most part, it's a thoughtful conversation. It's not just a hair of the moment. Oh yeah, this is what I feel about this. It's like, no, I've been
Yeah.
looking into this. I've thought about this.
Yeah.
And that's part of the beauty of it. And then on November 20th, we have Travis Ransom coming.
Actually, we don't, because
We no
there's
longer have Travis. Oh, he got deployed or something, didn't he? Or got a new job or something.
well, that's why I brought him in. Actually, I brought him in because I like him.
Yeah, I like
But
that guy.
he had texted me, "Man, your group's awesome." I go, "And you're one of my favorite guests. When can you come?"
Yeah.
And I sent him a link, and he goes, "How about the 20th?"
Yeah.
But he had forgotten that he had a previous obligation,
Okay.
so he's not going to be there. So we'll find somebody for that night. We've got Mays Middleton. I think that one's still tentative. He's coming. He's a candidate for Texas Attorney General. He's supposed to be a really good one. Week after that, we got Pat McCoy. He's a Bowie County election administrator.
Right.
A lot of questions about things that are going on. Dallas County, one of the larger counties in Texas, is going to do their primary hand-counted paper ballots. And Alan West is their county chair. I texted him. That's Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. Everybody's heard of him
Right.
probably.
Yeah.
I texted him and said, uh, he was very vague because I don't blame him, but you have to be a member. You have to live in the county to count. And they've got methods to vet people and to make sure that they don't get any people who's going to come in there and screw things up. So yeah, we got a guy running for Texas Ag Commissioner coming soon too.
Well, so what would you say? Because I know you probably listened to the show earlier this week when I said I'm not surprised by the results of the election. California stayed left. New York stayed left. New Jersey stayed
New
left.
York went blatantly communist. New York City did. That was
Right. But I mean, now I read a statistic, and you know how internet statistics are.
Yeah.
Whatever number you want to put there, 73, 85, 94%
Mhm.
of them are all made up. But that 83% of the Mendami voters had lived in New York 5 years or less.
makes sense.
With the because that's the immigration thing, right? Bring in a bunch of new voters that don't know the American way, that aren't assimilated to our culture, to overwhelm the citizenry.
That's what they did in Minnesota. I guess Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, but the other Somali, he didn't win the mayor there. He wasn't able.
Yeah. So there's a few places where there's still some common sense. You gotta. I think at this point we have to assume voter fraud. So like if you go, did they do it or not? Well, I think it's logical to assume that everybody there's always voter fraud.
Yeah, just
We've
on more level.
seen presentations that show voter fraud here in Texas with Republicans the beneficiary of it.
Right.
So, and that might be why it is very much a bipartisan thing to make everybody sit down and shut up about voter fraud,
Right.
because both sides have benefited from it.
Yeah.
And I personally, I don't care who in Texas benefited from voter fraud. If it legitimizes their election, we should do something about
Yeah,
it.
Republican or Democrat, we don't
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah. We don't care who's on the Epstein Island list.
Yeah,
we don't care.
Whoever's on there needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Executed.
Let's have some morals.
Yeah, looked at. So and that's the way it should be. And it's obvious that we have had a uniparty. I think Reagan went against it to some extent, but
Yeah.
the people around him ensured that he stayed pretty close. Trump is the only one that is bucked the uniparty.
And
And
tried
there's a
to
lot
kill
of
him and
ways.
bankrupt him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways that he falls in lockstep with them, and whether it's by intent or just by whether it's by
Circumstance, I
his
think.
design or people around him conspiring against him.
Yeah.
Well, we know it happened the first term, but
Yeah, he's actively fighting it in the second term, and I
Yeah,
think
for the
because of
most
what
part,
happened in
but
the
there's still some pretty weird things that are going on.
yeah, but I think it's because of what happened in the first term. He's like, okay, this is how they're massaging this to work out in there,
Yeah,
and yeah, but I think it, you know, I'm trying to find a way to say this without outing anything. Um, let's let well, I'll go to a different example. This is the only way I can make it work. Let's go to our any local race or official or whatever there may be. The decisions and stresses that come into county decisions or city decisions are the pressures that are well, how's it benefit this person? How's it benefit that person? Who's at play here? The power at play there? What about the citizens in this? How's that going to make me look? It's a lot just right here.
yeah.
And then when you get to the state level, it's even more. But then can you imagine how overwhelming that has to be on the national level? Of course, there's some things he's like, I just can't. I don't have room to fight that as well.
Yeah. And we do see there was a quote years ago about politics on a university campus. It's so vicious because the stakes are so small,
Right.
but they just go like rats fighting.
Yeah.
But we do that on a larger scale as well. I mean, there's some cities that are run real well, some counties that are run real well,
Yeah.
but there's always somebody suggesting something that somebody they know is going to profit. I remember
Absolutely.
driving through, um, what was it? I think it was up in Ontario. Um, what's that main city in Ontario where they had the Olympics? Driving through there on an elevated freeway.
Mhm.
It's elevated, and all of a sudden it comes down to the ground, and there's like 4 stoplights ahead of you, and you go through all these stoplights, and it comes back up, and it's a freeway again. And I was like, "What the heck is that?" I was driving a truck, and my co-driver said, "Well, probably some city councilman's brother-in-law has a liquor store down here."
Right.
So
Perfect time to stop.
yeah, everybody slow down when you go past the liquor store. Put a stoplight next to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Gotta stop anyway. Might as well turn in. So when you look at things in terms of, I mean, it's the accidental versus the deliberate worldview of history.
Right.
Accidental worldview is that we elect really good people and they get up there and they just, I don't know why, but they just keep voting wrong.
Yeah.
The deliberate is they say they're on our side, but they get there and they never work.
Yeah.
And if we've got that in Texas, there are obviously a great number of people who want to be politicians. They want to be the state rep, and where they
Yeah.
live, they've got to run as a Republican. And so they learn all the phrases, they learn all the things to say. 2/3 of it might be right, but when they get up there, 2/3 of how they vote is wrong
Yeah.
or more.
That's right.
Um,
And we see that all the time.
we do, and yeah. So it's that's why that we position ourselves at the Boone County Patriots, the John Birch Society, for that matter,
Yeah.
as we have a standard, it's the Constitution, and does it match that or not?
And it's that easy,
Yeah,
right? It shouldn't be hard. Is it in the Constitution? Does it follow what's in the Constitution? No? Okay, let's don't do that.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know why it has to be any more.
And the John Birch Society has the Freedom Index, which tracks every federal official and has been for decades, and state officials for the last 3 years, as to how they vote and whether they
Good.
voted in accordance with the Constitution.
Yeah.
And not many people have a good score.
Right.
It's a great way to track it, and we've got some Republicans in Texas. Their score's not that great.
That's short.
There's some Democrats in Texas that vote more in
Pretty
accordance with the
conservative.
Constitution
Yeah.
than the conservatives do, than the Republicans do.
Yeah. All right, Steve, we're gonna get out of here. We've got things
Things-
to get to.
Yeah,
So,
things to do, people to see.
yeah, that's right. Thank you for coming in again.
Yeah,
Lori, thank you
pleasure.
for coming in.
Thanks, Nori.
You're welcome.
All right.
It was very educational.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. We'll do it all again next week. I hope God blesses each and every one of you.
Peace out.
Have a great day.